Hey everyone, it's Scott Kuru, and I'm going to give you right now the secret suburbs that are gonna boom from the 1st of October 2025 for the next 12 months. This is where all the action is going to be. So stick with me in this video because I'm going to give you two really important things. Yes, I'm going to give you those secret suburbs. We'll get to that. That's very important. But I also want to share with you how these suburbs were identified and determined, because this teaches you one of the key things about being a successful investor. It all comes down to data. It all comes down to research. But the research and the data, it is much more complicated than what you might imagine. So let's get onto it. So I'll get onto those secret suburbs, but first of all, I want to tell you about where this data and where this information does come from. Now, Commonwealth Bank, every 2 or 3 years, they commission a first home buyer report. Now, the last one was in 2023. They've just issued one in September 2025. So you can go to the Commonwealth Bank website, you can download that report and you can read that report. And a lot of what I'm sharing here in this video will be in that report. And I want to thank Commonwealth Bank for that. Now, why do we look to Commonwealth Bank in terms of this report? Well, number one, Commonwealth Bank do almost half of all mortgages. Now, if you know anything about data, you will know that sample size is very, very important. So if you want to know something about a group of people, 100 people, if you can sample 5, 6, 7 of them, 5, 6, 7%, that's a very big sample size. But for Commonwealth Bank, they actually do almost half of all home loans in Australia. They are huge, they are massive. And by the way, they are the richest company, the most valuable company in the entire of Australia. Bigger than the mining giants, guys. These guys are number one here in this country. And because of the sample size that they've got and all of the detailed information that they've got, they know more about the property market than almost anyone. So we do like to look at what the chief economist of the Commonwealth Bank is saying in terms of interest rates. We do like to look at the reports that come out from the Commonwealth Bank as well. Now, this is important because there's a key date coming up in the property market, guys. It's the 1st of October. It is a milestone in the history of the property market. That is because for the first time ever, the Australian government, the federal government, has decided to be your lender's mortgage insurance provider, meaning as a first-time buyer under certain conditions, although the income is unlimited, anyone on any income can get this, and there's a price limit on the value of the property you can buy under this scheme. It differs, from state to state, city to city, but it's very, very high. I mean, for example, in Sydney, it's 1.5 million. I'll put this chart up with some of those criteria. You can take a look at that. I'll put a link below to another video that I've done on that. But on the 1st of October, all these first home buyers that have previously not been able to get into the market because they only have 5 or 6 or 7%, they now can get in. Now, what are they doing right now, these first home buyers? They're preparing for the 1st of October. So that means they're online, they're searching right now where to go, and they're also getting their loans approved so they can move quick. Take a look at this loan approval data, and you can see that loan approvals for first home buyers, depending on the bank, I'll put a few charts up here, you can see, in this example, 12% they're up. So that shows you that the volume of intent is high, the numbers are there, and now this report, PropTrack and Commonwealth, shows you where they're looking, okay? So let's just get to that report right now so that you can see the top 20 secret locations where first home buyer intent is the highest, okay? Let's go to that list of top 20 right now. In fact, I'll put that list up right now and let's just talk through some of the points here. So here it is, PropTrack has tracked where first home buyers are looking right now. Now, some of the numbers are absolutely crazy. In some suburbs, first home buyer activity is almost double the normal level. That means these areas are not just popular, they're red hot. Because remember, they've got the historical data, the search data for these areas. And then, they go back 6 months, 12 months. What's the volume of activity for this particular suburb online? And what is it now? It's doubled, guys. What does it tell you? Where does that direct you? And you know what happens when a suburb fills up with first home buyers? Demand goes up. Prices then go up. That's why following where first home buyers are heading is like following the early smoke before the fire. There's a signal there, guys. Now let's take a look at a capital city basis. Which capital city has actually taken the crown? Well, it's not Sydney. It's too expensive right now. It's not Brisbane. That market's very hot and it's actually a very tight market right now for stock. It's not Adelaide and it's not Perth. Both of these areas have surged in recent years. The surprise winner is actually Melbourne. Now, Melbourne is now the first home buyer capital of Australia. Almost half of the nation's top 20 hotspots are in Melbourne. 4 of the top 5 suburbs, Melbourne. And here's why Melbourne. Melbourne used to be the second most expensive city in the country, right behind Sydney. That's how it's always been. But in the last few years, while Brisbane, Adelaide, and Perth all went through massive booms, Melbourne barely moved. It's way behind. So now Melbourne has flipped, and out of the 5 biggest capitals, it's actually the most affordable. And that's why first home buyers are flooding in. Check out this affordability chart. So let's talk suburbs. Number 1 is Dandenong in the southeast. Now this includes Dandenong South and also Lyndhurst. Big growth corridors, lots of first home buyers moving in. Number 2 is Brunswick and Coburg. This is the inner north, close to the city, still has that younger buyer energy. Number 3 is Darebin North, Reservoir, Preston, and Kingsbury. Number 4 is Moreland North, Pascoe Vale, Glenroy, Faulkner, and Oak Park. And then you've got Casey South, Wyndham, Whittlesea, Wallen, Knox, Casey North, and also Marinda. The big theme, nearly half of the top 20 suburbs are on Melbourne's outer edge. First home buyers are chasing affordability, but in doing that, they're putting huge demand into these areas. And that's where prices are going to pop next. So why Melbourne? Let's just take a magnifying glass on Melbourne right now, because this is where I'm personally investing myself. Now, it's not to say there aren't some great suburbs in Brisbane, Adelaide, Perth. Of course there are. In fact, remember there's 15,000 suburbs all across Australia. And there are points in those different areas which are a great place to buy right now. But of course, the majority of the action right now in terms of the volume and scale is going to be Melbourne. This is why a medium priced home in Melbourne is now cheaper than in Adelaide, Brisbane, and Perth. Even detached houses in Melbourne are cheaper than Brisbane houses. That means more Melbourne homes fall under the government's 5% deposit scheme. That's the home guarantee scheme. It lets you buy with just a 5% deposit and no lender's mortgage insurance. And the loan data actually backs it up, okay? So remember, we've got bank data, we've also got the realestate.com.au data. Victoria now has the highest share of first home buyer loans in the whole country. Check out this chart, guys. So there it is, guys. I hope you really enjoy this video, because this video has given you the insights and the direction to know what areas are going to grow most. Remember, most of the activity is going to be on Melbourne, because Melbourne is the most affordable capital city, and Melbourne is actually at its most affordable point in history relative to the rest of the market. This is why people, not just in Melbourne, people all over the country are considering to move to Melbourne, because it is affordable. There's a lot of employment there. There's a lot of good reasons to move to Melbourne. Now, guys, remember, 1st of October, a big milestone in the property market history for us. We've had 3 rate cuts in the last 6 months. We've got more rate cuts to come, and we're gonna have a lot more demand, guys. We're gonna have more first home buyers, more investors off the back of rate cuts, and sentiment. Check out this chart, guys. Sentiment is at its all-time highest as well. Guys, this is your daily property update. I hope you've enjoyed this video. For more information like this, make sure to hit like and subscribe so you can get your daily property update every single time. I'll see you guys at the next video.